Welcome back, guys. So, well over a year ago, I looked at the Blaser F16. When my pre-order turned up, I did a unboxing and first impressions video, and I said that I was going to go away and do some shooting, maybe get some shooting footage and do some shooting impressions, and I never did. It's taken me a while to get one back to take a look at, and lo and behold, this week I got another F16. So listen, you've already seen, I assume, the F16 unboxing video, so I'm not going to talk about what's in the box. I'm just going to talk about what there is to do with shooting this gun, and really the sort of position really 1 year later, and now that I've shot a lot more sort of variety of guns, how do I feel about this coming back to it after having sold it? So let's talk about the the usual stuff. 30-inch tubes on this gun. Solid mid-rib. It comes with a set of 5 flush fit chokes, nicely tapered, very simple ventilated top rib with a rib front bead, this lovely slim beaver tail forend, and this beautifully dimensioned sporting stock, adjustable trigger, and nice palm swell, really sort of nicely dimensioned. All Blasers really do push my buttons when it comes to ergonomics. They're just fabulous. The way the palm swell fills your hand, the reach to the trigger, everything about them is just spot on, and this gun is no exception. The jointing on this gun is slightly different to the F3, sorry, in that it has a pair of pins that protrude from the bottom of the action floor that lock up with these 2 recesses in the bottom of the monoblock. But the ejectors are very, very similar. It has the same ejector mechanism that cocks when you open the gun rather than when you close it, so it's very, very easy to open and close. Adjustable trigger on this is very nicely weighted. It's a fabulous trigger considering the price of this gun. Really, really crisp brakes, really light, and the barrel selector is just on the trigger itself rather than up here at the back. Butt pad is nicely shaped and really sort of well proportioned for a good fast mount. It's a lovely gun for sport and clays, this if you're shooting from a low gun or for game. Really, really nice gun to shoot. The difference between this and obviously the F3 is around about that trigger mechanism. With the F3 you get the inline hammers. With this it's a much more traditional, although still mechanical trigger system. The inside of here, you can see the breech face actually comes off with a pair of torque screws, which allows it to be serviced from the inside, and very easy to get in there and take a scry and clean. Although if I'm brutally honest, torque screws aren't my friend. I generally speaking tend to stay away from them, and I've never actually tried to take the breech face off on one of these, but it is technically possible. It does come fitted with, as you can see, mounting points for their weighting system should you wish to add more weight to the gun, but as with my previous look at this gun, I think it balances really, really nicely as is. So shooting impressions, the F16 comes in at £8 dead. As soon as I picked it up and as soon as I took it out shooting, it reminded me of why I loved this gun initially, and it made me think, oh God, I wish I'd never gotten rid of it. Spent a good bit of time shooting it on a few different disciplines. I've shot some sport and some trap and some sport trap with it. It's not a trap gun, it's too light, but those really crisp trigger pulls and the very short return actually make for semi-decent sort of gun. For sport, and it's fantastic. The handling is just really, really graceful. It's definitely a very, very sort of fast-moving gun for getting it around the sky and really sort of firing it through birds that fast movers. The reason I got rid of it still stands, and it's interesting. After sort of the initial burst of nostalgia when I got it, I then, after about a week or so, I just thought, you know what, I did the right thing, only because I've gotten so used to the big heavy creak off. Going back to this, I was actually finding myself on some birds actually whipping through them and missing in front, just because I'm so used to the big heavy gun. But for God, almost anybody else, I think this would make a fantastic sporting tool. This gun has actually got the grade 4 wood, and you know when I said when I looked at my gun initially that I thought the plain wood suited it. Okay, but by crikey, the grade 4 does North look a lot nicer. It comes now in, you can get the grade 1, although I think they're rarely spec'd. I've rarely seen one, and a lot of the grade 4 ones tend to be the ones that are doing well second hand. But they've also now brought out a wood grade called Fusion, which is laser enhanced, rather like the Beretta A400 you can get with the laser enhanced wood. I'm not a fan, if I'm honest. I think it looks like it's trying too hard. I think if you were going to spend the extra, I think it's about 400 quid to get the grade 4, it's well worth doing, because I think it really does stand up and looks really, really pretty. The F16 has no adornment whatsoever. Nitrided finish on the barrels, which is nice and matte, and this dark grey graphite nitriding on the action. I think it looks fab. The quality of the checkering is fantastic. The borders are all really clean. It's obviously machine done, but to be honest, it feels great in the hand and provides really nice grip. Downsides. The choke key's a bit crap. It could be a little bit more easy to use. It's a bit wobbly when you put it in, and meh, it's yeah, I don't know, that's about it. I've heard tell of some reliability issues with the ejectors, although I never had any problems with mine. I had a problem with my fore-end latch, which was fixed under warranty, and the gun was turned around in a week. Other than that, I can't speak to any faults that I had, and this gun certainly works. I've put a few hundred through it this last week or so, and it's worked flawlessly, and it's still a cracking toy. Whether or not it's a cracking toy versus the 692 or the 725 Pro Sport is very much around, I think, your aesthetic sensibilities and whether or not you aspire to own a Blaser. This really is a very, very nice gun, but is it better than either of those two? Probably not. It's just different, and I think if you were going to buy one, it's probably a stepping stone to an F3. Maybe, maybe not, but I don't know. I really, really like it, but I'm, I guess, vindicated in my having sold it to go to the heavier gun, because the heavier gun does definitely suit me better. But that is me. Your mileage may vary. Guys, thanks very much for tuning in again. Please take a look at the rest of my videos, support me on Patreon if you enjoy the channel, and tune in next time. I'll see you next time.